Okay, starting with this blank screen, and we're going to, I'm going to read the first draft of a formal description written by a student of The Coronation of Napoleon by Jacques-Louis David. Now, the idea behind a formal description is just a description of the forms, the things, the shapes that make up the work of art that you see. Only describe the forms that you see and not describe any meaning or story. Only describe what can be seen and as simply as possible. We're breaking this down into shape, location of shapes, size, color, texture, overlap, near, far, tone, color. If the description is good, it should evoke a mental picture in the reader's mind. So let's read the student's description. The exact title of this painting is Consecration of the Emperor or Napoleon I and Coronation of the Empress Josephine in the Cathedral of Notre Dame in Paris on the 2nd of December 1804. David was commissioned by Napoleon to depict his coronation on December 2nd, 1804, to commemorate the pomp and pageantry of this remarkable event. Okay, that's a nice bit of history, but it hasn't described the painting yet. Okay, so there's no description of forms yet. Continuing. With structured composition that was characterized by neoclassicism style and organized axes that make Napoleon the central of the composition, the Pope and Empress on a diagonal line of composition, David presented the relationship between church and state, which is one of the most contentious issues during that period. Again, more history and not much description. There's a little bit of description there with, let's see, a neoclassicism style, but you would already have to know what that is. And organized axes. Napoleon's in the center. Okay, well, that's the only bit of description. Continuing, the Pope, prelates, I don't know what that word is here, might be misspelled, and priests on the night represent the church. Napoleon's imperial court are on the left. Okay, this division of painting is imposed to highlight the polarity. Don't know what that means. In addition, one axis, passing through the cross and having a vertical orientation, is the central of the painting around the axis. Emperor Napoleon is crowning his wife Josephine, who is kneeling in a submissive position to receive the crown from the emperor instead of the Pope. Good detail, but still needs some work here. Continuing, there are a lot of people in the painting, but not too many, and Napoleon is still the protagonist. Moreover, the invisible brush marks, historic and real characteristics, make this painting very realistic. Okay. There's more history in that description than there is description of what is seen. Okay, a formal description has nothing to do with history, meaning, story, narrative, what's going on in the picture. The only thing a formal description, note that, formal description, is to describe the forms, even the people. From a formal perspective, we don't care that they're people. Saying that there are figures, okay, here, let me turn this off. If I turn this off and I said, there are a whole lot of people in this picture, you'd get an idea of what people look like, because we know what people look like. Okay, but beyond that, we have to start talking about size, shape, and color to get a better idea, because I could say there are a bunch of people in this picture, and you could picture a football stadium full of people in however they dress on a Sunday for a different, varying region. So we have to just describe what's going on. Okay. I'm going to use my pen here. And Napoleon's in the center. Right. So is the Pope too. Right? They're kind of, if you divided this in half, it's hard to know who's exactly in the center. And here's Josephine. She is lower and to the left of both Napoleon and the Pope. We're not worried about the significance of that yet. We're just describing it, okay? And behind Josephine, I don't know if that's another princess or a maid in waiting, someone's serving Josephine. So there's someone behind Josephine, further left. Not worried about the significance of that yet. Okay. How large are the people compared to the rest of this painting? How large are they? Again, you're only stating how large they are compared to the rest of the painting. The significance comes later, after the formal description. Okay. Are there people in the background? And how large or small are they compared to people in the foreground? What are the dominant shapes that are seen in the painting? Describe the architectural shapes because they block out space in a certain way. There are horizontals and verticals here. And look at the overall shape of the crowd of people. See how the crowd angles in and gets smaller towards the middle, bringing the viewer's attention to the middle. Go back to the central characters. You need to describe, when you start a description, you describe whether something is horizontal or vertical. And then describe where the central characters are, whether they're people or shapes. Okay. Central doesn't have to be in the center, but the main characters. Now, what's the main character of this composition? Is it the people? Is it the architecture? Is it the event? What is the shape of the things? Where are they located? What's the color? What's the size of different things? And in a formal description, people are things. And what are those things doing? What direction are they facing? Are they looking? Are they in relationship to each other?